In this video, I want to share my experience of what it's been like riding the Tenways CGO600 Pro E-bike. I've got to ride it, I've got to test it, I've got to unbox it. I actually made a video where I talk about all its features, so if you haven't seen that one, I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll also put a link to the e-bike in general if you want to check that out. But in this video, I'm just going to share my riding experience and what it's been like using this product. So let's start off with the things that I absolutely love about this e-bike. The first thing, my favorite thing about this is the magnetic torque sensor. It makes for a very smooth and natural ride. It is very responsive, so when you step on the pedals, it immediately gives you power and lets you know it's there. And it adapts to how you're pedaling. If you pedal really hard, it's going to give you more power output. If you pedal softly, it's not going to give you as much energy. So it feels very natural as to riding a normal bike, but you can just go at faster speeds. So I love the adaptive capability of it. I think it is a great torque sensor. This e-bike comes with 3 different pedal assist levels, and they all feel distinctly different, which is really nice. That way it gives you control of how you're riding. The first level gives you a little bit of assistance, the second level gives you more, and the third level is you're like zipping around on it and you can go very fast with it, but it still feels very natural with that torque sensor. So even in the top pedal assist level, you can still go at slow speeds just by pedaling slower. And same thing in the first level, if you pedal really hard, you can still get your e-bike to go fast. So the torque sensor works great, and I love the 3 different pedal assist levels. Another thing that I was a huge fan of with this e-bike that I initially thought I would be very skeptical of and didn't think I would like is this single speed belt drive. There's no gears, there's no shifting, it's just a single speed. And I honestly found it to be very natural and very smooth when you actually ride. When you're going up a hill, instead of being in gear 1 and being able to pedal lightly, what this e-bike does is it gives you more power out of the motor to help you achieve that. And then when you're going at top speeds, which is 20 miles an hour for this e-bike, there is still good resistance in your pedals. It's not like you're loosely pedaling, so instead of being in gear 7, it just lets you feel the resistance more. I don't know how it does it, but it does a great job at doing it. So I'm very impressed with the way it actually rides. It feels very natural, very comfortable, and I think you would be very pleased with how it handled that as well. Now, there are some features on this e-bike that I didn't love as much, but I think that's more about me and not necessarily anything bad about this bike. The reason I say that is because this bike is made to be a cycling road bike. And so I think it does a great job at being exactly what it's supposed to be. I think it's like an A+ bike, but some things that I would just find a little bit more comfortable for where I live and how I ride is I wish the seat was a little more soft, because you definitely can feel it going over top of bumps. I live in an area that has very busted up concrete. There's a lot of cracks in it. It's not that smooth. And so I can feel every imperfection because it doesn't have any front suspension. It has a small seat, and then it also has thin tires, and all those things make for a more bumpy of a ride. But I want to point out that this e-bike isn't meant to be a cruiser e-bike. It's meant to be a road e-bike, which usually comes with these smaller tires and no suspension and a smaller seat, because it's made to be pedaled like you're cycling, like you're in a race, like you're commuting somewhere. So I feel like it does a great job at doing all those things, so I can't really knock it. I just wanted to point those features out to you. Another thing I want to mention is that it doesn't have a thumb throttle, because again, this bike is meant to be cycled, it's meant to be pedaled, so it makes sense that it doesn't have a thumb throttle, but that's something I just wanted to let you know as well. The brakes on this e-bike are just, they're perfect. They're easy to squeeze. It stops the e-bike abruptly and smoothly for a crisp stopping experience. I think it does a great job doing that. The headlight works great at nighttime. I realize that this is actually pretty bright. The one downfall, again, is the tail light. I mentioned that in my last video. It could use rear tail lights or blinkers or things like that would make it better for maybe a future model, but the front headlight was great at nighttime. Fenders did a great job keeping the bike cleaner. I rode this on some dirt roads and you wouldn't even tell based on the frame because it still looks very clean. The belt on this thing is great. I prefer it more than a chain because I'm not all greasy and oily, and you can go a lot farther without having to do any maintenance on it. It also makes for a very quiet riding experience with this motor. The motor, I believe, is a 360 watt motor, but I felt like it operated just fine. I think it can go up to an incline of 15 degrees, but just speaking about like my real world experience, I didn't struggle going up hills or riding into the wind or anything like that. It seemed to handle just fine. So overall, I feel like Tenways did a great job with this e-bike. I feel like they hit the nail on the head when it comes to all the features and capabilities of this product. I felt like it was a great riding experience. I honestly don't have much bad things to say about it. It did a great job, and I was very impressed at the way it handled, the way it turns, the way the motor kicks in and gives you assistance. Overall, it was just a breeze to ride this, so there it is. That's the Tenways e-bike. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link in the description below. Thank you for watching this video, and hope you have an awesome day. Be blessed.